Hello everyone, welcome back into Cricket Safari. Now Andy Flower is a very, very lucky man tonight. He's surrounded by Kiwis and all the good ones. We've got Simon Doull and Shane Bond, part of the Golf Giants coaching crew. Good to have you with us. Congratulations. A win up front. Must feel good.
Does feel good. It's always nice to get the competition off for the win, especially against such a power-packed side like Mumbai. So it's a good chance to, I suppose, that first game to get one over them, and we played really well tonight, so I think everyone's pretty chuffed. You
were dominant with both bat and ball. Now, you've been a part of this competition a couple of times before, so you know what the DP World ILT20 is all about. What have you, I know we've just started, but what are you liking from what you're seeing in the growth in the tournament so far? Yeah,
I still love the fact that we have to play a couple of local players and an associate player as well. I think the growth of those players in the nations that they represent is really a big one. It makes it a challenge from a coaching point of view, as Andy knows, is often there are players who would normally play who miss out to balance which locals you want to play. So selection is always, it's a long conversation. But I thought, yeah, our local player tonight who got the opportunity to play was one of our better bowlers. So that's something like that's great to see.
It was great to see. And Dooley, what did you make of the game tonight?
Pretty comprehensive, I thought. I'm just wondering how much sort of input Shane has into the batting lineup of my Emirates and how much you've spent time in dressing rooms with those guys when it came to the bowling side of things, because it appeared to me, I know the wicket probably got a little better, but your plans against most of those guys were pretty good.
Yeah, I think they were. I think the wicket was, we definitely got the better end of the wicket. I think it held a little bit at the start, and when someone like Nicky P can only go out and run a ball for as long as he did, it's probably a representation that the wicket was tough, but I also thought we executed exactly what we wanted to. As a bowling coach, you're always looking for perfection, aren't you? So we probably missed 10 balls, and I thought actually 145 if we'd got it right, but in the end, as I said, the wicket flattened out in Nissanka. He's such a good player, and in the end we did it quite comfortably, which is great.
So for you then, from a bowling coaching point of view, are you looking at numbers? Are you drawing a lot from the analysis about how to bowl to batters, or is it a feel thing for you and you're letting the guys on the field take a bit more control?
I think for me it's conditions first, so the conditions will dictate first up. So the wicket was a little bit slow and tacky, so if we hit the top of the stumps, and we talked about even at the timeouts, stay there as long as we can because it's difficult to hit. Secondly, if it then starts to flatten out, where are the areas that are going to be more challenging to hit? Spoke about the big side, the short side, and in the end it's if you can put those plans into place and they still hit you, then it's okay. So it's not all about the outcome, it's did we do the job, did you do your job for the team, and tonight we were pretty good.
Tonight they were pretty good. Andy, what did you make of the performance from the Golf Giants?
Yeah, they looked really confident, they looked organised. That's a nice way to start the tournament, isn't it? And particularly I thought the confidence of the batsmen when they chased that target. You know, some sides might tiptoe towards a target like that. They didn't do that. They went confidently. I think they had 50. They were 56 for 2 off the power play. Excellent power play for them, even though it's a little bit easier in the second innings here, it seems. And then that acceleration from Omazai and Nissanka was sensational. That was really high-quality batting, a very dominant display, even against a world-class performer like Rashid Khan.
I want to talk a little bit more about Nissanka, who obviously player of the match and rightfully so, did a great job with the bat. What's he look like in the nets? Did you know that was coming?
He looks like he's about 13, doesn't he? He's tiny. Everybody walked out there and thought, is he? How old is he? But I've seen a lot of him at home, and he's clearly one of the best batsmen in the world, I think, at the moment. He was a dominant player in New Zealand with Sri Lanka. He's got shots all over the wicket. So even though he's very small in stature, I thought we saw tonight the combination of shot making and power. He's just a class player, and he was the guy who took the game away from him.
Certainly did. Andy, what was your assessment of his performance with the bat?
Yeah, I've seen him bat in all formats, and he does look like a really classy little player. I think his height actually helps him. He seems to get under the ball quite nicely.
So what you're saying is I was a chance. If I could get under it, I would have been really good.
Me too.
Yeah, I think you were actually all right.
But for a small guy, he has got some power, as Bondi says. So very impressive performance. His decision-making was outstanding. He didn't only use power, used some nice touches down to third man, got it over the keeper a couple of times. So that's a great start for him. First game in ILT20. And that feeling of self-belief and confidence and acceptance by your peers in the dressing room, that'll feel great for Patum Nissanka.
Absolutely it will. Now, I want to talk about some bowling. Your bowling unit up front, they were quite good, actually. Let's talk about Tashara. What you liked about his performance tonight?
I think it was the plan us to bowl full early to a couple of their batters, and because he swings the ball and the wicket was a bit tacky, we thought that would be challenging. So the matchup was there, and he just executed, didn't he? Just bowled at a line that hit the stump, used the slower ball well, and with that little bit of swing and hold, when guys try to play across the line a bit, it created those caught and bowled chances. So I think when you go into these games, you're a local player, Hyder, who bowled really fast in our warm-up game, is you sort of don't know what you're going to get, but he was exceptional tonight and really beautifully led by Mo as well. As captain, just directed him what he wanted, and the beauty is he just executed and had an excellent performance.
We had a look at Hyder in the commentary box. Andy and I were on. He's not right over the top. He's just a little bit of that action, a bit sort of Dushmantha Chimera like. Is that someone you'd look at and think he's a little bit like that? But I really like. There's a lot to like about the run up. There's very rhythmical.
Tushara.
This is Tushara now. I mean, for him in particular, that slower ball when he gets it right. You worked a lot with Malinga. Yep. As well. How similar? What are you seeing the similarities there?
Well, you just can't see it because he sort of cuts underneath the ball and it dips. And that's the thing is, again, you're always getting the vision out of the umpire's shirt where he delivers the ball. So if it swings and it's at the stumps on a wicket like we had tonight, which was staying down, it becomes challenging. You're trying to hit him straight, but it hits the bottom end of the bat. And that's why it was so effective. Obviously, then that adjustment as the wicket got a little bit more greasy and it skidded on, obviously Polly got him a little bit, but certainly effective at the start. Speaking
of effectiveness, let's talk about change of pace and to remove Johnny Bairstow. Is that something that you talk about, or is that like a feel thing when you get out here and see what the conditions are doing?
Oh, so there's plenty of times when, as Andy would know, that you're going, what is going on out there from a bowling coach? But look, in the end, you put your plans in place. We've got two excellent captains in Mo and Vincey, and you have to trust them on the field that they're going to make the decision. It's never going to be perfect. As much as we as coaches are after perfection, it's not going to be like that. So, look, we talk about you are going to miss, you're not going to execute, but as long as we get our decision-making mostly right, then we can sort of live with that. So I think that's the thing tonight, we got most of it right.
And when you look at that dismissal of Bairstow, is that decision-making gone right as far as you could see, Andy?
Oh, absolutely. He's a dangerous bowler with a new ball, Tushara. Dangerous because of that low slingy action, but he swings the new ball. And then his second most dangerous method of dismissal is deceiving batsmen with the slower ball. There's something about the low slingy delivery where when you do throw out the off-spinner slower ball, it's harder to see for batsmen. And he definitely deceived Johnny Bairstow there. He did him for pace. The bat came through early. And the spoon return catch came his way.
It's a little bit more like a baseball pitch, Bondi. I've sort of studied this a little bit. When Malinga's Ben from Australia got it really low, and it would sort of curl away from the right-handers because it comes from such a low trajectory, and it's got a little bit of side spin, so it curls away from the right-handed batters as well. So that's what also makes it a lot tougher to hit.
It's like the Benny Lachlan slider.
Ben Lachlan.
Like the slider, isn't
it?
Yeah,
the slider.
Yeah, that actually
it's very
curves.
similar.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, you get it, you feel like you've got a line, and then all of a sudden you haven't got a line at all, and it's off pace, so you're reaching for it, and that's exactly what Bairstow was doing.
It takes it towards that outside edge as well, doesn't it? That little bit of slide to the offside.
So, okay, you get the win tonight, the Golf Giants on a roll already. What's next steps? How do you move forward in a positive way? Because it's new for you and Jonathan Trott, new combination for you guys. You've got some new players. What's the messaging like in the dressing room for you guys?
It's just more of the same. I mean, we've got 5 games in 9 days. So obviously, again, it's you look at the conditions. The conditions may change over those games. So your lineup may change. It's quite a unique competition in terms of your selection and your balance of your team, because one change can actually lead to 3. So the biggest thing we've talked about is, look, we'll just prepare consistently well, have our plans to go in, and then just recover well, and away we go again. And we know if we play good cricket, they're in with a chance to win. You know, these are one of the stronger sides, I think, MI. So to knock them off should give us a lot of confidence going through the tournament.
You had a lot of great individual performances. Omazai was another one we haven't mentioned yet with his bowling. He was superb. So when it comes to selection, what's the policy within the Golf Giants? And when you have all these individuals stepping up all of the time, does it ever get tricky?
Oh, you got to ask Trotty, because I just try to stay away from it, so I can deflect all the blame from him. No, like, we sit down, and that's the beauty of a coaching staff is the head coach would just get all the ideas. He listens to the assistants, go, what about this, and in the end he's got to make a decision, and we all get in behind it. So that's the thing, you're leaving quality players on the bench, but you're just trying to pick a team that matches up with the conditions, matches up with the opposition, and then you just got to go out and play well.
And we get to talk about it, Julie, which is very nice. Like Omazai tonight, I want to talk about him with you. What did you make of his performance?
Well, I thought all round was brilliant. We know what he can do with the bat. I think his bowling's getting better and better in the short format. He understands when to use the slower ball. I think he bowled a couple of really nice slower balls towards the back end. He swings it both ways, and he gets energy behind the ball. I think he's one of those players to me, and Andy Bondi, he hits the bat a little harder than you think. And I think from a batting point of view, that just creates that little bit more uncertainty because of the away swing and the in swing. It just hits you a little harder than you might think sometimes.
Yeah, that's what look, as a batter, you're not sure what's coming, and that's a significant factor. He's not predictable. Firstly, the ball can swing either way, but he's unpredictable with his lengths as well. So he bangs a fairly quick bouncer, as you say. He can hit the top of the bat, and he's not afraid of bowling a Yorker. So that sort of unpredictability brings doubt to a batsman, and as soon as you create doubt, you've got one up on him.
How do you coach unpredictability?
Great question. Again, you have some basic, you keep things reasonably simple, don't you? And you go, a guy like that who's got skills. I always talk about you've got this skill set, it's how you apply those skills to certain players. So it's not about not using the skill set, it's if you're bowling to Nicholas, it might be more slow wide stuff or using the Yorker to the feet. If you're bowling to Polly, it's hitting the top of the stumps a little bit more. So we have all those strategies in place, but he's certainly a hell of a skilled player. And I think we got a lovely match-up tonight with him facing his teammates with the ball, who were the biggest danger, and he just obviously took them down, which made a huge difference to us.
Oh, imagine walking in the dressing room after that. It is feeling very good. Bonnie, I want to thank you so much for your time. You're an absolute legend. We love you. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Right, let's take a look at some of our winners, our contest winners from Z. Let's have a little look here. If you're on these graphics here, congratulations. The Jawa Dikau in Pau contest, you can see here they're from all over, from Mumbai, Ranchi, some very exciting prizes coming your way. There's another page though, so if you're not on that one, hold on, you might be on this one. Have a look there, some Kolkata, Nagpur, Delhi. Congratulations to our winners. All right, I want to thank you, Andy, very much for joining us. Dooley, you have to stay with me, and so do you guys. Sorry, Dooley, did you not know that? You guys have to stay with us too. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, plenty more. Let's talk about My Emirates. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Cricket Safari. It is so great to have your company. If you have just joined us, the Golf Giants have won by 6 wickets. They have opened their account in Season 4 of the DP World ILT20. Joining Dooley and myself is Mike Hazeman now. Mike, it is great to have you here for the tournament.
Laura, thank you.
Our first time working together. Your second game of the tournament. What have you made of it so far?
Well, after the game yesterday, when the ball was just pinging off all over the place, it was a real shock really to come here and see that. But you know, it was quite interesting. This game, it never really took fire until right at the very end of the game, when obviously Nissanka played superbly, and then obviously Omazai decided he was in a bit of a hurry and an appointment, I think, or something, but he decided to finish things very smartly. But yesterday, from ball one, it was just full on. There were just sixes flying out the ground and Shahzad the whole time. So 2 very different situations. And chatting to Kyron Pollard at the presentation, I asked him, was it something else about the pitch or anything that didn't allow the game to ignite earlier? And in the way that he says things, he diplomatically said that he's not going to blame anything or whatever. They didn't play well enough, and he said again, but I'm not going to blame anything. We didn't play well enough. But he did say again, I'm not going to blame anything. We didn't play well enough.
What's he trying to blame you for?
Yeah, what are we blaming?
Maybe. Maybe. But I enjoyed the game.
It was a good game, and it definitely lit up towards the end. You did, right? Let's have a look at the points table. I know we're only 3 games in, but let's see who's got the spoils so far. So the Golf Giants get the win today. The Abu Dhabi Knight Riders did it against Sharjah Warriors, and the Vipers got one over the Capitals as well. So all good to get wins and points straight away in this tournament. Now, My Emirates, if we were going to look at positives, Dooley, there were a couple. The one for me, I think, that stood out was Pollard. Comes out in his first game as captain. I mean, he's not new to this franchise, but to come out and his 200, goodness me, that man's played an awful lot of cricket. But what for you was a positive?
I think they rebuilt quite nicely, and you know, might look at Nicholas Puran. I think he was 27 off 27 at one stage, but it needed that sort of innings. This is not a surface where you can come out and just go crash bang wallop in the power play. I've said that so many times over the last 3 years, whether it be Asia Cups or World Cups or this particular tournament. You've got to be a little more circumspect in that power play. When you're 3 down, you're going to be behind the 8 ball for the most part of the game. And I thought they rebuilt nicely and got to a target where if they'd bowled a lot better, it could have been a lot closer. So bowling was a bit of an issue, and the batting in the power play is where they need to improve. Pollard was a positive. I think Puran played a really responsible innings. And I think Gazanfa bowled nicely. Rashid had an off night, but I thought Gazanfa
I've never
bowled,
heard of those before.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen one.
No, it doesn't happen very often. But I thought AM Gazanfa bowled quite nicely for them.
So when we look at Pollard and he's the ripe old age of 38, I believe, and he doesn't like when people say that. So if you ask, it wasn't me that told you. But when you look at what keeps him, how is he able to continually do this around the world?
I mean, this season, this year I should say, he's been spectacular again this year. I mean, it's quite remarkable. I think a lot of people think he was going through a bit of a lull the last couple of years, but he suddenly has burst back on the scene again now, and this year has been terrific. And to thump the ball like he does, I mean, he doesn't try and hit the ball that hard. He's just enormously strong. I mean, there's still quite a lot of work going on in the gym there, quite clearly, and the forearms and the wrists, and the upper body strength is quite astronomical. But look, there's a lot of ability. Let's not forget the ability. But he's just a power hitter of note. And will we see another player like him? I think in the T20 game, probably not. T10 game, probably not.
I was down in Abu Dhabi doing the T10 recently, and what I really liked about Kieran Pollard, he will never leave any stone unturned. And post-game, they played a game. Chris Jordan was on the opposition side. Pollard was in his side. And they were both out there after the game doing some shuttle sprints. Now, 38 and 37, I think.
Those very young ages.
CJ's 37, I think, and Pollard at 38. The only two out there. A lot of young players in that tournament, and they're out there doing some shuttle sprints after a game.
That's impressive.
And I just sort of yelled over. I said, "Did you not sort of have enough in the game?" He said, "Mate, we've got a month and a half of cricket coming up." He said, "I've got to make sure I do my stuff."
I mean,
that's quite impressive.
It says a lot.
After everything he's done and been through, the want and the ability to still, want to get the best out of himself. I think that's a really big thing with Kieran Pollard.
I mean, it says a lot that you weren't with him. You were standing there saying, what are you doing?
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised. Alongside him, keeping up,
Billy does his pre-game. I don't know.
Says a great deal.
And he runs around. You should see him pre-game. Don't worry about that. But when you look at the players that do that, do you have to stay fitter the older that you get to avoid injury as well? Is that part of it?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but there's also a little bit of setting standards as well, and saying, guys, this is what I'm prepared to do.
He's big on that.
Yeah, he's massive on that, Kieran. I mean, you see it in a dugout interview. In a team interview situation or a team talk situation, and he's really big on setting standards and making sure that he's actually at the forefront of it and he's at his best. So I think that's one of the big reasons that he continues to do it.
It's so cool. I love to hear that. You can see why he's so wanted around the world. So excited to see what he does in this tournament. And this tournament keeps rolling on. We head to Sharjah tomorrow. Let's have a look at what is happening. It's the ADKR team taking on the Vipers. Both teams have had a win, a good start. Can they continue it? Now, you were there at Sharjah Cricket Stadium, looking beautiful. I love Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Magnificent.
Track was terrific, really good.
Well, if you're Liam Livingston, you love it out
totally.
there, don't you?
And about 20 others in the game also, by the way. No, the track was really good. It had nice pace to it, nice bounce. So it was good. A far cry from what we saw literally from 2 years ago. It was brown and barren and cracked. Now it's got a little bit of live grass about it. And it was terrific. Good carry through to the keeper. Very impressive. Allowed them to play those shots.
It absolutely did. Can we talk a little bit about Liam Livingston? I think we've got some footage of it. For those of you who might have missed this, it was quite something. To get 82 off just the 38 balls. I mean, the Sharjah Warriors didn't know what to do with themselves.
No, they didn't. I mean, he took everyone down. He was particularly severe on Pretorius, wasn't he? And that one over, I think it went for 33.
This was last over the innings.
Is that what? Yeah. But, I mean, his power down the ground is immense. We talked about Kieran Pollard. It's as big as anyone in the game.
It was terrific. I mean, he didn't miss-hit a ball yesterday. That's how well he played. It was off 38 deliveries, the runs. It was extraordinary stuff.
Yeah, it absolutely was. The Desert Vipers is the other team to be watching out for, obviously taking them on. And they started off with a hiss and a roar. You see what I did there? Fangs out, all that. But they did start very well. And they needed to, I guess, after what happened to them in January. They just could not get one over the Capitals. So to start that way, is that good signs for them?
Well, the two teams that have lost their captain prior to game number one have both come out on top. Lockie Ferguson out injured before game number one. James Vince out injured tonight for the Giants.
He's going to fight to get. He won't get back in there.
He might not. But they looked very good the other night in that run chase. They bowled nicely, restricted the Capitals to 150. Bowled really well in doing that, and then chased it down. I mean, it got a little bit tighter than they would have wanted at the back end, but they're a good-looking side. And anytime you got Sam Curran in a side, there's going to be a little bit of fight and a little bit of mongrelling about it as well. So, it's a clash of two teams that have won their first games. two teams that have looked good in their first game. So we're going to have a loser of one of the two of them after tomorrow night, and it might be a sort of something to look forward to going through the tournament.
And just one thing about that, the hitting from Livingston yesterday. I mean, Andre Russell was at the non-striker's end. I mean, the partnership was something like 58 or something, and he scored 11 of them. I mean, that's how unusual for Andre Russell. Well, he was celebrating. He was pretty happy at the end, but we were going, wow, this is quite extraordinary that he can do that.
One who, if he gets it right, is one to watch, and that's Andreas Host. We've seen him in this tournament. He scored, I think, his third 50 in this tournament the other night here. He'll be interesting at Sharjah. I think could he get it out onto the road?
Well, he could definitely get out on the road. You have a look at a couple of these pull shots that he plays. He sweats on the short ball. See, that sort of shot there would be out on the road in Sharjah. I think they put netting up though, have they, Hazy? They put some netting up to stop the balls
that's
going
on the shop
road
across the road.
That's on the shop. Okay, all right, no drama. But
Two
really good player.
Windows.
Andreas Host, obviously keeper, batter, bats at the top of the order. He's had a pretty good time of it lately as well, and he's got an all-round game, plays the little ramps and things, but I think he plays the quick bowling as well as any top order player in this tournament. He's really exciting.
I knew him from the Free State days when he was playing at Free State before he went to Texas. And I mean, he's always had enormous talent, but never really got a run in South Africa, so took an opportunity to move to the States. And one thing he's often done that I've seen is start tournaments really strong and then just peter off a little bit. And I really think and hope that he's starting to learn that you've got to be really consistent as you possibly can, and be better the next day than you were the previous one. But he's a very, very talented cricketer.
Well, if we're going on stats, then you want to be watching tomorrow, because it's game 2 for him. It's game 4 of the DP World ILT20. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.